It's Johnny coming to you from right outside of Washington, D.C., and today we're going to be talking about how to throw a backhand in the game of Ultimate Frisbee. I hope you enjoy. The 3 keys to throwing a backhand in the game of Ultimate are grip, efficiency in our motion, and angle control. We're going to break down each one in this video in depth. Let's take a look. For our grip piece, we're going to pretend like we're shaking someone's hand. We're going to put that hand right on the disc so that there are 4 fingers underneath the rim as such, and our thumb on top pressing a little bit into the flight rings. Now the key with the flight rings here are that they are made to be dimpled a little bit, and what I mean by that is we can press into them a tiny bit, create a little dimple, and that will give us a lot more control over the disc. Now we don't want to be crushing into it. Anything that feels hard or like we're hurting our hand or like we're gripping too tightly is wrong. We really want to focus on putting a little bit of dimple into the disc to make sure that we can get it to go where we want. Efficiency in our backhand throwing motion is extremely important. Now, when I talk about efficiency, what I mean is making sure that we're only using energy on the parts of the motion that is necessary. So what I see a lot of the time with newer players, especially when they're trying to throw farther, is a really big motion in their backhand. So a really big starting from all the way back here and falling through all the way up somewhere else. But really all this does is create a wilder motion with less accuracy and precision. What we want to do when we throw our backhand is pivot across our body, make sure that we're staying nice and even, efficient in our balance, and then we want to make sure that we just pull it through, probably from the back of our hip, that is not our throwing leg, so the back of our off leg, just to about the front of our body. Practicing your balance in this lunged position will help you be a lot more efficient and a lot better at throwing your backhands when it counts. Making sure all the while that we're keeping that efficiency in our motion, even if we're trying to throw it farther. The power does not come from starting farther back or finishing farther forward. It comes from our third point, which is going to be angle control when combined with power. Let's take a look. So the disc's natural tendency, if we throw it flat, is to turn over outside in and hit the ground like that. To combat this, we want to put more inside out angle on it, the more power we're putting on the throw. So what I mean by that is if you're throwing it like this, it's going to hold that edge if you throw it with a little bit of power. So if you throw a little lofty one, it's going to hold that edge. If you throw it with that same edge, but with a lot more power in your throw, the disc will eventually flatten out and even go outside in. And that's what the 3 patterns, the 3 stages of flight are, and what we want to achieve on our hucks and oftentimes our pulls. See how I'm releasing it at that same angle, but the disc is flattening out when it gets farther because I'm putting more power on the disc. Additionally, notice how my motion is still efficient regardless of the distance I'm throwing it at. For about a 20-yard throw, for about a 60-yard throw. Same efficiency, just a little bit more of a follow-through. Now let's see if we can put it all together at each distance we want to throw. 10 yards. 30 yards. 60 yards. And we'll even try a pull. The key here is that the farther we're throwing it, the more we want to balance our inside out angle with power. So the more angle, the more power you should be putting behind the disc, and vice versa. Additionally, when we're trying to throw farther, let's focus on only trying to throw about 80% of what we can. That way we can focus as much on the technique, which in the end will generate just as much power as our brute force will. That's how to throw a backhand. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.